Hello everyone, my name is Maricon Andrea Esteban, taking up Bachelor of Technology and Livelihood Education, major in Home Economics. So today, I will be discussing about what are portfolios. So what are portfolios? Portfolios are prominently used in art, architecture, modeling, photography, and journalism. They document proficiency, skill, style, and talent with examples of actual work. In education, a portfolio is a purposeful, systematic process of collecting and evaluating students' formative and summative assessments to document progress toward the attainment of learning targets. So, portfolio is a purposeful collection of the student's work that exhibits the student's efforts, progress, and achievement in one or more areas. So, the use of portfolio assessment became popular in the late 1980s in response to the growing clamor for more reasonable and authentic means of assessing students' growth and development in school. So, the portfolio assessment is one of the several authentic and non-traditional assessment techniques in education. An effective portfolio is purposeful, is systematic and well organized, contains meaningful work, has pre-established guidelines, engages students in selection, evaluation, and reflection, motivates students, and documents progress based on clear, well-specified scoring criteria. Now let's move to the major types of portfolio. There are two types. These are the documentation portfolio and the growth portfolio. So the documentation portfolio shows the student work that illustrates achievement, while the growth portfolio reveals change in student proficiency over time. Next is the stages of portfolio development. So there are four stages of portfolio development. Stage 1 is planning, stage 2 is collection, stage 3 is selection, and the stage 4 which is the reflection. So step 1, planning. So during the planning stage, instructors communicate to the students the purpose of the portfolio and the assessment criteria. Next is the collection. Students are responsible for assembling meaningful artifacts that reflect their own educational progress. And step 3, which is the selection stage, is the decision-making process in which collected artifacts are arranged and selected for addition in the portfolio. And lastly, which is the reflection stage, this is considered as the most important step in portfolio development. During the reflection process, students justify their selection, highlight important learning gains, explain relevant skills and knowledge, and identify areas for improvement. So the following are the elements of a portfolio: the cover letter, table of contents, entries, and reflection. So the cover of letter should include one or two paragraphs highlighting relevant personal goals and experiences of the student in relationship to the goals and purpose of the portfolio. Next is the table of contents. To ensure that the portfolio is functional and readable, you should include table of contents with numbered pages. Third is the entries. The type and the purpose of the portfolio will provide guidance in determining the entries to be included. And fourth is the reflection. So, depending on the type of portfolio, reflection can highlight students' thoughts in relation to their own learning, identify strengths or weaknesses, examine progress, and provide self-assessment. Now let's move to the examples of portfolios. Here are the examples of portfolio, which are divided into two, the documentation and the growth portfolio. However, the documentation portfolio can be subdivided into three, such as the documentation in celebration, which shows students' best work. For example, highest scored test, highest graded paper, and best project. Next is the documentation in competence, which shows level of achievement reached in relation to learning targets, such as mastery of each competency needed to do the electrical work. Then the documentation project, which illustrates competence on completion of a single task, such as history unit final presentation, and small group project on identifying chemicals in a water sample. And now we have the growth, which shows improvement of student competence over time. Some examples are writing that show differences in skill and drawings from the first part of the semester to the last week of the semester. So that's the end of my discussion. Thank you for watching.